Sizde onda başka tarih kısmına bulursunuz. Sizde tarih kısmına bakıştır mı? Ana size kaç kısa satırsanız şaşırdı. Bundan çok besleyebilmiş mi? Çok besleyebilmiş mi? Yetişiyor mu satılmış? Size de su da verdik.
Менің номерімді жазып оған не саласыз ба? Жібере саласыз ба?
Салып қойдым ғой. Салып қойдым ғой, код десеп. Иә, білем, титулға жоқ екен, білем аға. Аға реттейм аға. Код десеп, месе көзінше салып қойдым ғой. Бірінші аха салып қойдым аха. Мен ана ашқан кезде аха. Сол ғана ет тұтып. Реттейм аха. Не? Балаларды справкасынан бана ма? Нені? Онда тұтып қалған жоқ па мен? Жоқ, мен деңіз жоқ болдым сол жерде. Аха, менде нормально аха сол ғой. Жақсы.
Поставили уже.
Now first who is?
Ганидина.
Now Ганидина, third grade from Hawaii Secondary School. Yes. Now you are welcome. You guys will project.
Good afternoon, dear participants. I'm a student of 8th grade. I'm Dina Ghani, who came from Abai Secondary School. And the topic that I choose is effectiveness of using chunking strategy to improve students' reading comprehension in English. Um, Let's stop in a table of contents. First of all is introduction, and secondary is chapter 1, theoretical foundation for the formation of reading skills in English lessons. Secondary is chapter 2. Fourth is chapter 3 and conclusion. And finally, it's bibliography. Uh, Let's stop in introduction. Relevance of the project is necessary to study and charters the mechanisms of reading and show the relevance of using in English lessons. The goal of the project is show the need develop reading skills and hypothesis is reading text through chunking method develops students reading comprehension. And fourth is object of study foundation of reading skills through the chunking method of a student when taking English and sciences grades of primary school. And the research methods and techniques. And finally is project objectives. Next slide is chapter 1. Approaches to teaching reading and reading as a sort of speech talking. Reading, according to author philosopher, is a receptive, reactive, and unexpressed internal type or type of speaking activity, since it consists in the reception and the processing of information compared by signals. According to Roy and Videsh Chagna, reading, like any other activity, has a content plan and procedure plan. According to this author, there are two reading types. It's reading silently, internal reading, and reading aloud, external reading. Slide. The concept of chunking strategy. Liners, the arrangement of information in time, space, or process according to historical chronology. Secondly is taxonomic chunking, the process of organizing information defined by Bloom's taxonomy for the cognitive domain. And multi-objective chunking involves an ordering a technique based on the amount or lack of information received. Next page is the advantages of using chunking strategy. Step 1, get ready. Chunking can be utilized with long or short texts, complex texts. And step 2, to go over your reading strategies again. It's difficult to practice certain decoding procedures before asking people to paraphrase a text. Step 3 is to divide the text to sections. The term text breaking simply refers to the process of dividing text into smaller fragments. Step 4 is to revise the meaning. And finally, step 5 is evaluate and assessment data. Tests can be used to measure students' comprehension and reading skills, and also compare their erosions of the material. Next page. Three, classification of pre-test and post-test scores of experimental and control groups students. Pay attention for this table one. There is point, maximum point is 10, and there is 4 grades, like 5, 4, and 3, and 2. For 5 is 9 to 10, and for 4 is 7 to 8, for 3 is 4 to 6, and for 2 is 0 to 3. And pay attention for table 2, pretest results of focus and control groups. There's count is 58.3 patents. And the result of table 3 is quality control 58.3 percent, and focus is 66.6%. Next page is conclusion. As a result, the new strategy keeps people's attention and motivation to learn and to comprehend what they read. Second, there was a scientific difference between the pre-test and post-test scores of experimental group participants. Meanwhile, the difference between the pre-test and post-test scores of control group children was unremarkable. This illustrates that when the chunking approach was used to teach participants, their reading comprehension skills increased.
Okay, your time is up, unfortunately. You have 7 minutes
Yes.
for speaking. And can you give one example of memory chunking you say? So just give us in the practice, show us. So how you do this?
For example, we can take a phrase, "What's up?" It came to "How are you?" Question.
So this one is the chunk.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for your attention. It's all.
Yes. Next one is Omlahan Jaswal. Next, get ready, Anurlan Torzan.
Get ready. Please. Snap.
Okay, can I start it?
Yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Omlahan Jaslan. I'm from second school of Habay and the village Habay. I'm 9th grade and I start to my scientific work. My topic of scientific work is the importance of slang words. We all know slang words like cringe. It's all these teenagers know these words. Introduction.
What does it mean, cringe?
Cringe?
We don't know because we are not teenagers.
Yes. Cringe means like very, very stupid, very not intelligent. Introduction. What is slang? A lot of people know this term, but not everybody can give a correct definition. So slang is a type of vocabulary that's very informal and used by specific group of people. For example, we have slangs that are used by teenagers and older persons in human country. So we have British and American slang words. However, slang words is very important in spoken communication. This is why it's a crucial part of learning English. So, slang is not literally vocabulary. This is words and combinations that are outside the English norms. Depending on the scope of use, slang can be divided into well-known and commonly used, and little-known and narrowly used. Lives, slang lives in social environments where it can possible to communicate with native speakers and watch videos which more popular among teenagers and listen song in English. The main reason for the emergence of slang is that young people widely express their communication with peers, their parents, teachers, and in general from the adult world. Formation of slang. The development of computer technology also has a great influence on the change in slang. Basically, it attracts to younger generations. Thanks to these social networks, a lot of new words have been appeared. Consider often. DM it means direct message. It more often used in Twitter. The next is MEA. Ask me anything. It's used by bloggers and famous people to communicate with people who imitate them. Fast food has also a big change in slang development because in the early 90s gained very big popularity like McDonald's and the KFC. It's abbreviation slang words. Next factor is the media and vision. They surround us every day and everywhere, even in social networks. Thanks to the media, we have good opportunity to replenish our vocabulary with the words like, my bad, I made a mistake. You're right, that fool thinks that was my bad. That's not me, Melody, my bad. Okay, you two could be twins. Okay, the next one is down to earth. Someone who's practical and realistic and humble. Like, for example, they're gonna love you for you're so down to earth and relatable. You know, Chris, I'm having a great time. You're so cool and down to earth. The third one is wheels a car. It means a car. Dwayne didn't have wheels. He's always borrowing his girlfriend's car. How do you like my new wheels, Simpson? Oh wow, man, what an Airbnb. Okay, uh, I'm gonna give you examples for slang words. The first one is howdy. It means how do you do? And bananas second is very funny and have fun. Lit is amazing and cool or exciting. Okay, to prove to the relevance of the work and check how widely English slang is developed among young people, I conducted a survey among high school students. I offered the questionnaire with a list of the most common abbreviations, where the survey can translate and know them. As a result, it turned out 40% the participants couldn't translate them, and the 10% is translated inaccurately, and the 50% is translated it completely true. Conclusion. The slang words is very popular among teenagers because they are more often sitting in social networks, in internet and the others. And by using abbreviations, we facilitate the process of communication of daily life. And using the slangs, we shows our emotions and the others. Okay, that's all. I I think he liked my scientific work. I think.
Yeah, what is the importance of it?
I think it's more, a lot of adults like you don't understand the slangs, many slangs that's used by teenagers, like cringe. Uh, you like cringe.
One more question. How long have you been researching this theme? How long have you been researching?
Switching.
Yeah, researching, working on this theme.
I wasted it for only 1 month.
Only 1 month?
Yes.
It's not a research.
Okay, thank you very much. Sit down. You can-
Thank you.
Where's your work?
Work?
Yes, I
Uh,
mean, some kind of, like, some kind of.
Project,
mean like-
project, what is your project?
project?
Yes, we don't have a project like this.
This is no,
Ah.
no, this is.
Sorry. I forget that.
Forgot.
Forgot.
Next this.
That's all.
Yes.
You may.
Then get ready.
Thank
Thereby affirmation.
Thank
you.
you.
Sorry.
Thank you, not thank you. Yeah? You said.
Сиер шолпан? Шолпанай.
Сегіз бен 10 сынып па екеудің? Біреу 8, біреу 10 They grade 9, 10 grade.
8th grade and 9th grade.
Ah,
Eighth
really?
grade.
And
Шолпанай and
Toplan. Just a minute. Start.
Dear teachers
and students.
we are from Abai Number Secondary School. I am Dарын.
I am Shulpanan.
Today our scientific project topic is how will the community know English. So let us start. English is an international language all over the world. And the second is English is the chief language of international business and academic conferences and the leading language of international tourism. And finally, it is the main language of popular music, broadcasting, advertising, satellite, home computers, and video games.
The importance of learning English. Today, English is one of the most common languages in international communication. It is used when drawing up important business contracts. Many books, newspapers, magazines are written on it. A large number of films have been shot. Learning English is an important component of the educational process. Mastering the nuances of speaking English is subject to the principle of lifelong learning. TV shows, programs, music are produced and published in English. By understanding English, you won't need to really translate and subtitles anymore. By accessing this media, you will also improve your English reading and listening skills.
The education system in Kazakhstan. English is taught from the third grade as it more effective. Schools offer various the English development programs. The structure of the English language in elementary class includes the basic English. Children learn the simplest words and compose the first phrases in foreign language. In this way, including the presentation of English proficiency is laid and the computational level of a language is mastered.
The educational programs there are a lot of educational programs that provide the opportunity.
English means improve your grammar skills, such as having a good communication skills, a proper pronunciation, and a good vocabulary. People respond to different learning methods. Therefore, for some people, learning English can be easily and with different activities can help improving your English. To learn how to improve your English, refer these guides and tips provided below. At first, watching TV movies and series in English, and reading books, newspapers, magazines English, listening in music listening music in English in different genres. Also repeat new words, practicing and practice your speaking skills with your family. Nasıl hayatı?
And students, someone does want to answer interesting practice to use it.
Of course. We were at school in street airport and it was really good and interesting practice. Also, we wrote an article about our topic and sent it to official site Statsliga. Then we our certificate. Also, we have Instagram profile where we posted all photos and videos. You can find this account in Instagram and conclusion. We think English plays an important role in our lives because it helps to communicate with people from other countries as well as learn more about other cultures. As Kazakhstan is on path of activity integration world community, the international language of cooperation is English.
During the discussion, it was noted that many people are interested in English and want to learn it. We found that there are no people who don't know English at all. That our country has all the conditions for learning English.
Also, we have.
Can you give me just one? So your topic is how well do Kazakhstan people know English? So did you make a little bit survey on how well do Kazakhstan?
Of course, we.
On what place is Kazakhstan right now on knowing English?
We know English in Almaty. We took an interview with residents of Almaty, and someone was shy. Someone didn't want to answer, but I think we.
How many people did you interview?
We took an interview. Then, and what about?
Yes, okay, I see this. So, do you have any questions?
During the question and answer session, we found that a couple of people aged 13 and 18 was high, but vocabulary of people aged 20 and 40 was not good. But people aged 50 and 70 say they don't know English.
So, what is on what place is Kazakhstan on knowing English? Oh, okay, Almaty.
In Almaty. What about the most people aged 13 and 18, the most know English because they are younger. They always watch TV series and movies in English. So I think they know more English than adults.
Colleagues, do you have any questions? No.
Do you consider changing the topic? I think the topic is so well. The topic, how well do Kazakhstan people know English? I think your topic and your project are not matching.
Yes, they're not connected. Yes.
We have
But this is not the student problem because the teachers actually do decide.
I think you should consider changing the topic.
Yes, you have to change the topic of your project because they are not connected with each other. Okay. So you are just saying about how to improve English, and you say how well do Kazakhstan people know English. So these are two just different things. Okay.
We had a page with our results, but it didn't show.
Yes, I know, but you were talking during the 5 minutes that you were speaking, and you were speaking about only improving. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, you did a great job. So
Your
how
team and
how
your-
well did you learn English? So the last question: Why do you learn English? Why do you need it?
Because English is a very interesting language.
No, exactly you. Why do you want to learn English? Why do you need this in your life?
I want to study abroad
Okay, very good,
in
nice.
USA and just visit to another countries.
Of course, it's an international
like
language. And you?
Our Western lifestyle culture demonstrated the idea of languages such as television programs, music, our interests younger.
Okay, thank you, ladies. Well done.
English is the international language of the world. Thank you for it.
Okay, very nice, good job. The next is Tüzelbay.
You have to read this.
Aslan is he here? No, yes, he's missing. Satvaldarina, did she come? No. Süleyman. Next. Who's ready? Tüzelbay Balkınbek. Start, please.
Hello friends, hello everyone, hello students. My name is Altubek and I'm in secondary school of name Jambul and I'm in ninth grade and today I will present my research project, effective resource for learning English. And the relevance of the topic, the current is how to learn English quickly and effectively. On this occasion, we decided to carry out research of this issue and systemically present the effective resource that we use it help master the English language. The purpose of the study is to identify effective resource and ways to learn English. And the task of research to motivate students to offer a collection easy ways to learn English and to provide information about the researches and to benefit students in practice. Research. First, introduction says effective methods of learning English. Chapter 2, resource for learning English. And fourth, a conclusion. And next plan is list of set user preferences. And scientific innovation of this project is to offer various methods of learning English quickly, easily, and interestingly, and which can be used by everyone. When we start learning to decide to ourselves, search our motto. Nothing is impossible. By Kamalja. There is no such thing and as impregnable castle, and we this concept. If we want to achieve great success in the future, if we want to be competitive and not be left in the shadows or all the young people, if we want our future to be bright, we should strive for this. We should try to master the English language. In my opinion, a very effective age for learning language is school age students. And no, we don't have any obligation in our shoulders other than self-development. The main resource to learn English, the first resource is skills and consistency. The third resource is time. The fourth resource is research and work. And the necessary resource is a mobile phone and the internet. And the main ways to learn English is a 5-10 words per day. It's better to try memorize 5-10 words about the topic that interests us every day. Only the words that are essential for everyday life should be memorized. And as a ways of learning English, having a notebook, it's better to write down important in brief. This notebook keep like a diary will help you a lot later on. I think they showed pattern English notebook and using a stickers, write and pass the English names of all the objects on stickers. It's things are in front of our eyes. Our eyes easier to get to use it. It uses the names of this in English and international words. Cognates are words that are used similarly in several languages. For example, words with similar sounds and meanings such as brother, our sister, sisters, and baby. Example of them, it's a educate, it's a abdinke, bastapo. And the ability, it's for kaza, it's قابلية, it's made of قابلية, and it's key. In daily English, you should repeat your daily, memorize it, and cleaning the room, washing dishes, listening to songs with clear, to slow English lyrics while doing chores. Look for information on special sites that teach English. You should find the information you need for learning language. Share those with your friends on any topic every day with the help of your mobile phone. Ask each other question and answer them. As those in this, we will begin to master the skill of speaking. There is no English speaking environment. There are many obstacles for us to learn English quickly. We should not have any without studying English. It's better to devote 10-15 minutes to English every day. During those 10-15 minutes, with a short piece of listening to an audio material, listening a song, or watch a movie in English. And the resource for learning English, it's sites and apps, BBC Learning English, Audio English, Learn English British Council, XM English, and Learning English Free Online, and Bubble Kids, Duolingo, and Free Rights or TV. And next is conclusion. I want to say that to understand information in English by listening and reading, or to write down our thoughts on paper to express our thoughts, communicate with other. A person must have a vocabulary. You can increase your vocabulary using this resource. Without vocabulary in English, we cannot understand. Okay. Thank you. Good luck. And that's all.
Yeah. What do you think about your topic?
It's English resource, or it's resource for learning English and study. It's for studying. Yes or no? It's right, but mm, and
Did you try to use in your own life these resources to learn English? Exactly which resources did you use?
When you learn English, what resources? Name of the resources, given please.
Yourself.
it's sites and apps.
Which, please,
You
name,
use it.
Name of
how
Which,
did you
which
use
one was useful for you? Not, we know that. I'm from the generation. There was no internet. There was no mobile phone. But anyway, I learned English without internet, without any kind of apps. Only books and colorful books. I don't think so. Maybe I'm so old, but you said that internet, yes, it's quite good. Is useful for you? What kind of resources you use? Yes. What do
I
you think?
I use books and internet resources, only internet resources, because internet is our future.
Can you name the site or resource?
For example, Duolingo, it's app for studying English.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Next,
Next, Süleyman.
who is next?
Süleyman.
Süleyman Olmaz.
Olmaz.
Muzaffer Ayşe. Battle. Not here. Next is Ali Muratovanың қызы.
басқа оқушыны шығара бересіздер ғой. Өзіңіз слайды бар. Басқа оқушы дайын.
Слайды дайын болмайсың ба? Жұлдыз слайды дайын ба? Али Мұратова Жұлдыз. Ninth grade. Алғажым Арбаев.
Good morning, teachers and students. My name is Ali Muratova. I'm a student of Kazakh Secondary School named after Ajam Kharbakhidze. In my presentation, I want to tell about bullying and language. As we know, every person should respect and know his native language, but knowing foreign language is a requirement of our life. Bullying words and long words is stable process. When countries and people communicate with each other, that's happening. Technology, economics, tourism, festivals, competitions, all these things lead to the internet to long words. And I like to start by looking at slides. The use of English words among the young. And second, reference to search for. English is an international language. For that, we should learn the develop other language too. Second, the object of the scene. We should find out the language and language. In conclusion, I want to say about advantage and disadvantages of English long words. As a result, long words often used by young people. It's because of the media and television technology, sports and music. Some of the advantages of English words are, firstly, sometimes it's convenient to use long words because when we pronounce, it's in a short version. Secondly, long words are clearer than long translation. Thirdly, these words are part of our everyday and media. Some of the advantages of English long words lead to the confusion of our language. We lose the value of our native language. Our native language words. So, as our famous poet Dарын said, we should learn and think foreign languages, but we mustn't forget our native language and respect it. Thanks so much.
Questions?
So do you have any strategy of learning new languages, not forgetting? Can we use new words that come from English and not forget Kazakh?
Yes, some teenagers use words like crush. Maybe if you lost, just named him crush because in Kazakh, not translation of this word.
Next.
Ужасно, слайд ужасно.
verbs.
Hello, dear students and jurors. My name is Olgas and I'm from school Juventus Barbari. Working in the classroom, I study English at home. One of the English language video heard us talking about phrasal verbs. It is a linguistic phenomenon, a phrasal verb. Watching videos on the internet, reading authentic texts from the press in English, or listening songs in English. It's concluded that phrasal used in modern speech. More than 5,000 phrasal verbs and active use by English speakers several hundred. We are the ESL students. It's mean that we learn English as a second language. That's why it's natural to have some understanding the meaning of phrasal verbs. By studying phrasal verbs and using them vocabulary, using them in our speech, we expand our vocabulary and also get to know the work of native speakers of the studied language they tutor. Mastering phrasal verbs can greatly enhance your students' language skills and help them communicate more effectively in English. Phrasal verbs add color, depth, and versatility to our language, but they can also be quite challenging to understand and use correctly. Hypothesis. Knowledge of phrasal verbs helps to increase the level of understanding and proficiency in English. The purpose of the work to study phrasal verbs and compile a school dictionary of phrasal verbs. Tasks. Conduct a theoretical analysis of the available literature or phrasal verbs. Give a classification to phrasal verbs. Get acquainted with the features of translation. Your own dictionary of phrasal verbs in order to use it in English lessons. The subject of the study is phrasal verbs. The study is the peculiarities of the use of phrasal verbs in speech. Research methods, description method, analysis method. Chapter 1. Phrasal verbs. What are they and how are they used? For the first time, the term phrasal verbs was introduced by the English linguist Logan Purcell Smith and was recorded in the English Russian dictionary as of verb combinations published in 19 USSR. Structure. Phrasal verbs consist of a main verb and one or more participles. The main verb provides the core meaning, while the participle wants to change verb's meaning. For example, turn is the main verb and up is the particle. Transitivity. Phrasal verb can be transitive or intransitive. Transitive verbs require a direct object, while intransitive ones do not. For example, take off requires a direct object. For example, take off your shoes. Whereas get up doesn't require a direct object. For example, get up early. Separable and separable and inseparable. Phrasal verbs can be separable and inseparable. Phrasal verbs, the dialogue object can come between the main verb and the participle or for example, I am going to pick my friend up in the verb. Idiomatic meaning. Phrasal verbs often have idiomatic meanings that might not be immediately obvious from the individual words. For example, run into can mean encounter someone unexpectedly, not necessarily cyclically run into them. In the context which it's used. For example, give up can mean to quite surrender or abandon depending on the context. Common usage. English speakers use phrasal verbs frequently in everyday conversation, making them an important aspect or callable language. They are often more common in informal speech and writing. Learning and understanding. Learning phrasal verbs can be challenging, as there are hundreds of them with various meanings. It's often helpful to learn them in context and to have exposure to authentic English materials. So, what are the phrasal verbs? This is an integral linguistic unit which consists of combination of a verb with preposition, a verb with an adverb, or a verb with a preposition and an adverb. The schema of their education look like this. Verb with preposition. For example, go on. Verb with an adverb. For example, preposition and an adverb. For example, look. Statistically, the native speaker's speech consists of phrasal verbs by 40%. Is almost half.
Yes. Questions?
Just what is your strategy for memorizing phrasal verbs? What is your strategy for memorizing phrasal verbs?
How do you learn phrasal verbs? Yes, how do you learn?
I want to introduce meaning dictionary of verb phrasal verbs.
Can you give me one sentence with phrasal verb that you know? One sentence.
I'll look at up the meaning of the word.
What word did you look up? What kind of word did you look up? Look it up.
Sentence.
No, I don't understand this. You don't understand the meaning. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Biz paylaşırken get ready. You'll be pass. Presentation, right? No? Not with.
How long you have? Exactly.
ninth grade. Belinsky.
Hello everyone, my name is Amabekova Aruna. I am a student of 9th grade. I am from Belinsky. Impact of energy. Relevance of the study. Today available to everyone. Used to combat fatigue, aiding in active lifestyle and mental activity. But is everything as good and safe in consuming energy drink? Where does so much energy come from? To demonstrate that the consumption of energy drink is an effective means of negative impact on the physiological process of the human body, and the objective studying information about the origin and composition of energy drink, investigating the influence of ingredients of plant and animal origin, raw chicken protein, and raw animal meat, conducting attitudes towards energy drinks. Caffeine was a natural substitute. However, in different parts of the world, they were their own methods of stimulation. In the Middle East, coffee was insourced. In South Asia, tea. In America, the plant yerba mate. And energy drink, caffeine, glucorolactone, taurine, guarana, ginseng, theobromine, and B vitamins. Taurine is a derivative of the amino acid system. It is one and is found in small almonds in various tissues of animals and humans. Guarana is a tropical plant used as natural psychostimulate. Natural psychostimulate that reduce fatigue and increases physical activity. Action of energy drink. Borrowing strength from the body now means you will have to pay it back later. Moreover, you will have to repay it over the course of several days. The more you consume, the longer the recovery. If you almost once every 2 months, there's nothing to worry about. But if you consume it more frequently, your body won't be able to. And positive effects of energy drink on the human body. The high content of vitamins and glucose stimulates vital process in the body, and convenient aging of the drinks, suitable for consumption on the go, in the car, and or at the gym when there's no affordable coffee or tea. Effects of energy drink on the human body. With a dose excited blood sugar levels can significantly increase, leading to serious conditions like diabetes. And energy drinks don't provide energy but utilize body's internal resource. They lead to exhausting. Experiment 1. Energy drink on raw chicken protein. Water reminds gorilla partly soluble with a small residue. Flesh completely dissolved release of gas. Red Bull dissolved with a significant release of gas. And second experiment, effect of the energy drink on raw animal meat. Water, no change observed. Gorilla sediment formed, fever decomposition, and Red Bull significant swelling. And conclusion from the conducting experiments, gorilla and Red Bull exert a more favorable impact on tissues. Based on this, it can be concluded that the digestive system's organs and tissues will be primarily subject to negative social study. First question, do you know what energy drinks are? Yes, 5% and 5% no. Second question, do you consume energy drinks? 61% yes, 38% no. How often do you consume energy drink? Haven't tried 30%, once a month and one time per week, 50%. Conclusion of the social study. Conclusion of social study. The social survey involved from students involved from 8th to 11th grade. A total of 40 people were served. The result indicates that tried or consumed energy drink, while 38% hadn't. And for consuming energy drinks, rules for consuming energy drinks. Engaging in sport, they shouldn't be taken 1 hour before workouts. And people with chronic illness, pregnant individuals, and drinks don't consume coffee or tea while consuming energy. From myself, nighttime sleep is very important for the human body. If you think you can cheat it with energy drinks, you're mistaken. Therefore, before taking energy drinks, consider whether it's really necessary. And conclusion. In this way, energy drink can be considered to stimulants that induce excitement in the body for a short period of time. However, because the body receives stimulation from an external source, it quite remembers it and seeks more. The effect of short-lived because it disrupts physical process. Do I remember repetition?
And question. I wanted to know what's the connection between learning, drinking, or fizzy drinks.
Oh,
Impact of
my teacher is saying actual theme of the teenagers, and I choose actual theme is impact energy drinks, and I don't know.
It was your own idea
Yes.
to choose such kind of topics. Questions? No questions.
the next شيء غير شحفيدين بطريقة
12 years old. My life as a teenager is like a roller coaster, right? It's very happening, lively, and joyful. On the other hand, it's very confusing and very demanding too. I'm not an adult anymore. They call us old after the meeting. These days, I feel my friends can understand me more than my parents. My parents say that I'm not a kid and want me to behave. But they themselves treat me like a kid and visit me everything I do. I need some space and I want to believe in me fully. I enjoy spending time in front of the mirror, worrying about my look. These days, I feel more physical and psychological changes that I'm going through with my friends. It gives me a little fear when I think about my future. In few more years, I will become major and will have the right to vote. I do sport and read more books. I always try to support my family and my friends. Is healthy diet of modern teenagers. For in my research work, I want out the influence of proper nation on of organism. Food is important. It is especially important for teenagers as your body is
still growing. It is vital that your eaters good quality food and the right gifts to meet your energy and national needs. One person every day, my friend, your several editors years of health. Mm. Every person knows the process of people's daily food in on many processes in our organism set as body development brain activity scan and care con- conditions also depend on our diet. Talk about the advantage of healthy life. There are only several people who are ready to balance diet. There are a lot of reasons for it. One of the biggest mistakes is healthy food does not taste good. Vegetable smells an amount of sugar. Lack of salt and fat sound like uh, for those who are used to eating all these products. However, you can be today eat.
You don't you have to say with your own words.
Yes.
What did you understand from this topic of your project?
I understand this project healthy lifestyle of teenagers. Нет. Я по-моему, можно я так скажу? Я понимаю это так, как у подростков, наоборот, взрослые люди как-то совершенствуют себя и более живут здоровым образом жизни, когда подростки губят свой организм. Это.
Ты сам выбрал тему?
Да, сам выбирал.
Один выход, сори. Керимбай Амужан. Керимбай Амужан.
Importance to
Базира.
Базира.
WhatsApp көресің бе?
Қанат қызы.
Так, кішкене.
Hello, my name is Etinur. I'm a student of 9th grade at Cambridge School. My SEM is importance of audio materials in learning English. Task of the research work is revealing the importance of listening activity in learning English, enumerate the main equipment in language learning, increase readers' interest in learning English, and describe the importance of audio materials in learning English. My project consists of two chapters. The importance of listening in learning English. The goal of my project is to show you the most interesting and useful way to learn English, and show you that it has very many advantages. Give you examples. And I want to tell you about importance of English language. Nowadays, knowing the modern knowing English is one of the modern requirements, and it opens can build our future, achieves to our goal dreams, and also it help us to communicate with other countries, because we know that nowadays there are those, communications with countries, and English is the most comfortable and easy language. The art of listening highly evaluated in Kazakh people, saying that the words are orphans if they aren't heard. The second saying that if you listen to it will hope. And listening is extensive and intensive. Extensive is when you listen to text that you want, and the advantage of this type of listening is in that you can choose your topic, and is when you listen text given by your teacher and do tasks. And it also helps you to consolidate the term, and to do exercises. And also I can give you example from our country, how our people learned Russian. From childhood, we didn't know Russian words, but we started watching, and it was very encouraging Russian. And second example is babies. They can't speak, they can't understand, but they listen. We speak in that language, it teach them. So the second chapter is the importance of audio materials in listening, and it's known that 21st century is age of information, and we all have the learn everything that we want, and also there are many useful sites, useful networks in our, and you can just your listening skills. And few example from my own experience. First is I think that you all know the addiction of teenagers of TV series and films. They want might watch their favorite films in English, because it's really interesting to watch real acting, real voice, and really real accent of actors. And the second is music. I had time when I didn't learn English, and my level was elementary, and at that time I was fan of English music, and I think it's hard to not to sing when this plays your favorite music, and I was just listening music, and it was very encouraging. I learned the text of the music, and my accent improved. And also my speaking and listening skills are improved. In conclusion, I want to say that there are many interesting types of learning English, and if you have very simple mobile phone, you can just learn it with your own.
Can you give your work, please? And what level are you now?
Between intermediate and upper.
How did you reach to intermediate level?
Because of music, because of films, because it's mixing pleasure.
What is your favorite?
My favorite song is Daylight.
Huh?
Daylight.
Daylight?
Yes.
Who is the singer?
Saint David.
Good. More questions, Alex? Next.
May I come?
Соответственно, удовольствие.
Вот, это вам что сказать.
Кто закончил, может идти. Если хотите оставаться, слушайте.
Так, базировано на седьмой класс.
А разве 7 класс может? Коллеги, 7 класс каждый может второй там участвовать? Да.
8.
Вот этот Амир 7 класс.
А здесь
8 класс.
а тут написано седьмой. Ратмир, да? Ратмир,
8 класс.
Ратмир.
8 класс.
Ратмир.
Команда нет какого-то?
Нет, просто я одна.
Вас нет?
May I start?
Yes, you may start.
Hello dear juries, hello dear guests. My name is Shahadi Bakabus. I'm in 9th grade. I study at Business School in Khanasai district, Kaskiliyam town. About how can we improve our English skills with movies. Maybe thinking why have I chosen this thing? I think it's actual thing because English now is a common language and everybody tries to know English, successful, and that's why I think it's actual thing. My project is also related with English. With my project, I aim to provide individuals with practical guidelines and strategies on how to enhance English language through movies and convince young learners of the effectiveness of watching movies in learning English. I think we all know the importance of English language in our world and why should we learn it. I don't want to lose my time and I want to tell you about the most effective way to learn English. Of course, there are lots of ways of learning English. You make books, you may cram it, but not all these ways are effective and you may you learned. And my opinion is that if you learn this interest, you will never forget what you learned. So for me, the most effective and the most interesting way to learn English is watching movies. Let me share with you my own experience with films in learning English. I started this project 2 years ago. When I decided to improve my English, I tried everything, and once I decided to watch movies, The first movie I want to tell you is Harry Potter. Harry Potter's franchise first movie. It's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. For example, this fragment, I have fragments. Characters are meeting each other for the first time, and with the help of this fragment, we can learn new ways to introduce ourselves. We can see many interesting phrases because the film is British. By Joanne Rowling's The Author's Condition, actors were only British. We can improve with this movie. And here I've got second fragment. Here we can see that students are in the spell lesson. There are two characters. Hermione are talking about one spell, calling Wingardium Leviosa. It's a limited spell. We can understand it by the word wing in the word Wingardium. I think that's all. I don't want to lose my time. And the second film I want to tell you is The Parent Trap, because it's about twins which grew up separately due to their parents' divorce. And they speak two accents because one of the twin lives in London and one of the twin lives in California. Here is the fragment when twins met each other for the first time. In this fragment, they are talking about their parents and the picture of their. And of course, it's only my own experience, and it's all of this, not all of the things that I learned with these movies. I'm just giving you examples. And now, let me tell you about my friends' examples also. My friends to them to watch movies in English because their English level were very low. You can here see the statistics, and here also the green line is the first movie. They understand only 20-30% of the film. The yellow one is the second movie, where they could understand almost the whole of the movie. And the red one is the third movie. They were able to understand almost the whole movie.
In order to improve my listening, I remember that when I saw the movie first time, it was really difficult for me to understand. Yes, I understood only 20-30% of all the movie, and second, almost like the half of the movie. But nowadays, it's really easy for me to understand the
language fluency, Protagoras movies and series. So now, thanks to Protagoras, my English fluency has increased and English level on a well-behaved level.
This was my friends and classmates' experience, and I think I'm convinced that watching films can help you to improve your English skills. And now I want to give you some suggestions to learn English with the help of movies with subtitles and which are designed to understand. And third, you should take notes because fourth, you should repeat and mimic after. It will be helpful for you. The fifth one, discuss with others. You can discuss with others the plot of the movie, and you can do it in English also. It will. The last one, use movie-related resources. For example, in some sites you may find it can help you to enhance your vocabulary. Yes, and as a conclusion, I want to say that Roger Bacon's work, knowledge of language, is a doorway to wisdom. Not only opens new doors, but also other myriad advantages. Thank you for your attention. So,
How many films have you watched?
I watched many movies, but I want to tell you about 3 movies. My favorite movie, I think it's Harry Potter's first movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because this movie is British and my British accent was very low. My British accent.
So why did you like?
I like this movie because of the plot, because it's about wizards. I'm interested in.
What was your first movie in English?
First movie in English, Harry Potter. Yes. You can see here.
Saya bisa bazir. Ya, bazir. Saya lebih kayak di mana? Работа. Базира. Работа.
So hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today my topic is the history and progress of movies play a very important role in people's lives, and movies make us think about all sorts of things, about the meaning of life, about known histories, and about life and see what we haven't seen before. And movies also shape our personalities and our view to the world. Sometimes millions of movies. We sit back and watch and judge them. Sometimes productions and movie editors were. But have you ever thought about how and when movies were made? There weren't any computers and people had to create films based on what new and vast knowledge. Cinema is a worldwide phenomenon that reinvented. Yeah, cinema is a worldwide phenomenon that Wim Wenders. And in fact, it is. The creation of the cinema was a major breakthrough and it played an important role in people's lives. And on the development is really interesting. Movie industry from. And the purpose of this work is to study the history of cinematography and years in various countries. So many different aspects of life and our culture, hopes, fears, and comedy. Cinema plays an important role in our life. And with the help of technology and internet, it has become much more easier and available to watch movies almost every day. The history of cinematography begins in the Cambridge Dictionary defines cinematography as the art and methods of using cameras and making a movie. We see the world through different people's eyes when we watch movies. We even developed our own style of movies. The study will also look at the preference. What kind of movies do they prefer? And do they prefer Kazakh movies or foreign movies? And what genres of movies do they mostly like? The history of cinematography began in the early 1880s when people were trying to figure out how to. And people, it is with convex lens or aperture for projecting an image inside. and it is a forerunner of today's modern cameras. The camera obscura was introduced in 1859, but it was mostly used as a drawing aid rather than a device that created moving. And another device that created fluent illusions of motion is, and the phenakistoscope was created by Joseph Plateau in 1833, and he was influenced by Michael Faraday's own now wrote about optical illusions in 1830. And these early devices led to the invention of the brothers Lumiere, a camera and a projector, and it was used publicly, and therefore film rapidly developed in early 20th century. It's the very first video in the world. According to the Guinness Book, this is a round hay garden set by the French inventor Louis Prince. It was only 2 seconds long, but it showed some people walking and waltzing around in a garden. But however, this movie is the very first video in the world, universally. The official version is the last Silhat station. It was released in 1895. The 50-second long clip showed, and when the film was shown, people were mind blown. And they were so overwhelmed by what they were seeing that they started screaming and running away further from the screen because they weren't psychologically prepared for what they were seeing. In the German magazine Der Spiegel, the film had a particularly lasting terror and panic. Sounds appeared, films were silent from mid-1890s to the late 1920s. And it's like no sound, no problem. And I think all of you know Charlie Chaplin. He was part of the silent era. And the kid, the circus. Now, when 1927, The Jazz Singer was the first feature-length film with sound, and it was the beginning of the talkies era. Films also started to become colorful, evolving over time. Now, people used two significant and really brought a huge change. The two-color Technicolor, it added limited color to motion. Was a real breakthrough in the full color motion pictures. So Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, and Vicky Sharp are colorful Technicolor. And now I want to talk about some countries, the history of cinematography in some countries. Cinematographers already had their first documentary movies. Only 10 years later, the Russian directors, Moscow and filmmaker Alexander Markov created the first Russian film, the Panizovaya Volnitsa. And in 1910, Russian directors had released all sorts of movies, like detectives, melodramas, and action movies. And the first sound movie in Russia was the Nikolai X-Rose to Life. And the second half of the 50s were a real movie renaissance after Stalin's death. Cinematography didn't prosper fully, and after the fall of the Soviet Union, many award-winning movies started to appear. And
more than 7 minutes.
What's your conclusion?
the conclusion is, so while doing this work, I learned lots of interesting things about cinema and its history. And I also learned how to do this topic, research project on many topics. And the progress of the development of cinema is really The development never stops and perhaps never will. So cinema plays an important role in the lives of both adults and young youth as a form of entertainment. Some like foreign movies better and more than the domestic films and are more influenced by cultures of different countries around the world. And thank you for watching. That's all.
What's your name?
Hazira.
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 What was the idea behind the topic? Like, why did you choose this topic?
So I wanted to learn and how movies developed and how cinematography and movies play the role of the movies in our lives. And so basically I wanted to show the development of cinema.
Thank you. Saya udah Camila. Sembah Carla. Then. Thank you, guys. Diana, Razal. Razal, Diana.
Good day, everyone. My name is Amina. I'm ninth grade student from a high school gymnasium. Is a role of social networks in English language. The aim of the research identifies social networks that help improve English speaking skills. So my research met the first week it was question. I have a survey among the high school students and the English teachers about their opinion about learning English with social networks. After I made a search engine, analyzed information, and practiced everything on myself. So I want to show you one of these interviews with English teacher.
Okay, could we improve our English with using social networks?
To be honest, it is possible. It all depends on how talented is the child, how gifted he or she is. But generally, social network can be a supplementary one. For example, there are lots of nice and interesting content on TikTok and Instagram Reels.
And also, can you recommend some channels or sites that could improve our speaking skills?
For speaking skills, I highly recommend podcasts, first of all, to listen because it's a natural way of speaking. Since for ESL students, they're not really natural way of speaking because they make it slow and they have a clear way of listening. But I believe that if you listen to podcasts, that's the natural way. It can really help you to improve. Second is definitely it is practicing it with other native speakers on Discord. And of course, another one is I recommend to all of my students is Nas Daily. It's one of the best YouTube channels because they speak slowly, they show vocabulary, and they make some important points highlighted. Thank you. Yeah, welcome.
Okay, could we improve our English with using social networks?
So, like I said before, I made a survey among the high school students of Abba School Gymnasium. Participated 34 students, and all of them have a TikTok account. They use it to learn English. Also has YouTube. 12 of them use Instagram. 8 of them use Facebook. They joined two groups that help to learn English, and 5 of them have contact, and 4 of them has other applications on their phone. So now I want to give you some tips to learn English with social networks. First of all, you should watch TikTok every day, 10-20 minutes. But I'm not talking about just chilling and wasting time. You should filter the content. Also, follow native speakers and educational channels. For example, English Maria, Ekaterina, O Learn Match. Most of them has a lot of idioms and phrases that will help you. Next, follow useful channels on YouTube. like On the Go, Nas Daily, Rachel's English, TEDx, AJ Hope. All of them are good, but honestly, my heart is on Nas Daily and AJ Hope because Nas Daily is very interesting channel. You will know something new about the culture of other countries, and the AJ Hope's podcast, they are out of this world. Honestly, I love them. I listen them every day because he just gives us a lot of information about his life, about his own education, and he's a world teacher. So the next work with sites teach you how to formulate sentence correctly. I exactly advise you British Council because it's very good website. You can choose the level of task and listen to the conversation, do exercise. I was preparing for Flex program with this website, and now I'm going to prepare to IELTS with this website too. So I want to show you another video. Like I said before, on TikTok, there's a lot of useful videos, and it's one of them.
Everyday phrases in English. It's on me. It means I'll pay the bill. Butt out. Leave me alone. Bite your tongue. This one means keep quiet. Drop me a line. Write me. Text me. See if I care. Once in a blue moon. This one means. Do you know what this one means?
So,
Use everyday phrases in English.
You can see that this video is very short, and if you watch this type of content, TikTok will recommend you this type of videos every day, so you don't need to search for it. And I think it's most of teenagers are impatient. Honestly, they can't like this type of videos will help them. This guy. I named Fun and Easy English Guide. Fun and Easy English Guide. You need to practice just 30 minutes a day. I put the best TikTok channels, websites, YouTube bloggers, and games that will help you to improve your English. Because during my project, I saw a lot of users' content. But I decided to choose of guide, and also I want to say that it would your speaking skills. It can develop your listening, writing, and reading skills too. So thank you for your attention. That's all.
What was the role of social network in your experience, like when you were learning English?
It have a big role because when I learned English, like I said, it's not improve only your accent, your pronunciation, your speaking. It can improve your listening skills too. And also, I think social network is just now it's part of our life, and because of that, I choose.
The next, Diana.
Good morning. I study in ninth grade, and my teacher is Anna Medetva. This is research work. And to give a couple summary and second, let the reader read the book. I will show you, describe you the results of the questionnaire survey and of titles on readers' interest. Why don't people read? Because firstly, because of TV and firstly, in our time, it requires more time. Reading books requires time. Like it's easy. It's more simple to watch a movie that takes 2 or 3 hours than days or months, and it requires the brain. For example, when you read book, you should imagine it. You should and turn on your fantasy to feel. In movie, you can hear it, you can watch it, you can see it and feel it and really feel it. Uh, Certainly, it's ease of access. And I'll tell you more. Just like more books are expensive. Have money for this. Of course, it have electronic versions, but it can damage your health, like eyes and whatever. And so after this, I decided to make a solution to one of the reasons, like it requires the brain. I had a question and survey with my friends, classmates, and teachers, and most decided that they choose a book by its title. And so I decided to research this deeper. I had a questionnaire, and then I understand that like these topics are people understand and have more positive feelings, like wormwood smell. My name is Kojam, and board schools bread, the magic goes Alianska, and some topics are just boring, like temple, empire, Rome, and foxhole, and essential. After my question and survey, I understand that I should ask them these 2 questions. First is, do you think that this topic is important, and do you think the topic is comprehensible? And after their answers, I make a diagram which shows their answers. For example, I asked them how much time do people spend reading, and I understand that 90% don't read books never, and 90% of books read per day, 28% per week, 34% per month, and 10% per year. And I wanted to know who reads books more, teachers or pupils, and pupils read books more. How do people choose a book? You can see in this diagram, more people choose a book by its title and its adults offer. Why don't people read a book a lot? Understand that more people don't read books because of studying or household chores. Then it's popular in our time. Read more humor and not books for children. Why I researched it? Because if we research what like teenagers, we can make our future more bright. Because teenagers are growing up and they will be workers of our country. In conclusion, I want to say that while researching, I studied more and more and make my writing better. And I'm not a master of writing headlines and titles, but I want to say to young writers to make titles like my examples.
Best way to justify reading, for example, over TikTok or Instagram.
I don't know.
No, I mean, what is the best way to justify to someone, to tell someone that reading is better than TikTok?
I think that with help of these titles, we should justify. And that's me.
the titles.
Yes. Do you choose your books by the titles, by the title of your book?
Yes, I choose and more people choose.
What was the last book you have read?
The last book is Plaha by Shimzaki.
You read English or more English books or in Kazakh language?
More Kazakh, but English, I love English books.
How many English books did you read?
I think more than 5.
What are they?
It's the first, The Invisible Man. It gave me my teacher, and then Tujibek in English. Then Orphan Boy about. I read it. I forgot.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes. Разорвем, нет?
Будем запустить Александр Шарлова.
What is the name?
Diana. Good afternoon, Diana. And then I come from secondary school named after Ahmet Betursanov. And then my work is metaphors in adversity problems. And then usual health potential customers and they can expect when in your product or service or establish your company brand. And then most catchy declarative phrases that use these as metaphors, allegories, or and then performs the following attracting the attention of the target attention to the certain associated with the product for additional of features of product and then next the address requirements associated with a particular brand, product, service, be memorable, right? Do not cause rejection, and be clear. And for example,
Can you tell with your own words without reading your work, please?
For example, you don't look like your when you are hungry. That is metaphor is yes.
Advertising, yes.
And adversing. Always adversing role, and it's always people to. A small survey was conducted in the carbon shoes of cola or Pepsi. 78% of students choose from cola drink. After that, advertising work was conducted for students. He asked them to take the survey again. According students and sport, students changed their minds.
Questions, colleagues? Do you have any questions?
In your opinion, what is the best example? What is the best example?
I think that singers person look like yours when you are hungry.
Thank you, sit down. We can roll. You must have What's your name?
My name is Vladislava. Good morning, guys. My name is Vladislava. I'm in the 8th grade. The theme of the research is semantic and structural analysis of the physiological units in the book rolled out, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Say about English student literate is one of the most global student literate. It contains subject to general laws, distinct difference and features of the economy, information of the content of the children's reading, both special insets, children's and the selected time for the children, and the determined the international literary of the English people. Charlie's Chocolate Factory is simply for one committee. This is an education book that can children understand what is good and what is the purpose of the analysis of the units, Charlie and Chocolate Factory. The research of objective is study and study theoretical information of the units and find the way to translate physiological units and material. Object study is analysis of the physiological units in the raw data. And the subject of research is simulates the difference of physiological units in the English to Russian. And in my work, we follow the method, or use the method of physiological indication, comparative analysis, and so on. And as I began my research, I turned and then I will say about biography of the great Dye is a British author who writes 19 books. In the 1964, he published his book Charlie's Chocolate Factory, which was a great success, and later was made into film. And Roald Dahl was born in 1916 to an Norwegian family in London, named after Arctic explorer Roald Amundsen. In the 1920s, when Roald is 4 years old, his sister Astrid dies, followed a month by his father. And I want to say about history of creation of Roald Dahl. Charlie and Chocolate Factory story by Roald Dahl. In this book set about an adventure of young boy named Charlie, and he went to the chocolate factory Mr. Wonka. Mr. Wonka is a businessman who until realized 5 golden tickets. One of the winners was Charlie. Charlie Bucket, it was poor boy who have nothing to eat, and he went Charlie's Bucket. Boy, factory. I turned to dictionary and the internet record
what the concept of translation and the word of translation. Too many examples, but I say only three. Example first, the grass ball standing on my dear little swan is made of the soft meaty. It was rich. The example of swan supper little smile. The word smart and the word two words that were described. Then example third, and I see to quick and she I shut it home and give it to my garden. Now she's all smiles and we have a happy home. This father, Mr. Soul, said that he brought the boy daughter and she smiles, it means to be happy. And the last example, Charlie's watch stands still. This example sentence describes the moment when Charlie gives the golden tickets and she's where here the idioms a watch stands still means to be shocked or surprised. In this context, that the child was very surprised. Извиняюсь, у меня вылетает презентация. Дальше. Что мне нужно показать?
Use your own words. What is your conclusion?
Sorry?
Conclusion. What is your conclusion? What did you understand from your research work?
I understand that many people don't understand physiological units and many children have got to translate this, but they mustn't use it because of physiological units.
Did you find a solution to this kind of problem?
Yes, maybe learning these physiological units or study English. If you study English, you can translate this text and you can help to another people who don't understand it.
Questions, colleagues?
Thank you.
Равон. Хамид, скажем, Равон. Какой вопрос? Then, second by Janike.
Good afternoon, judges. My name is Rawan, and I'm an 8th grade student from the Al-Mawlad School. Today, I'm going to present my project on the theme of the semantic structural analysis of new professions of English origin in modern society. The relevance of this topic is that all of us one day will have to choose a profession in our future. And I am interested in the English language, in its new professions, and I think that it will need to be done in research. The purpose of the work is to analyze and identify the lexical and semantic features of a new profession named of English origin in modern Kazakh society. My research objectives were consider the essence and the purpose of the process of borrowing words. The second was to analyze the names of professions of English origin. Consider the demand for such professions in the Kansai region. And the fourth was to conduct a survey among our school students on their knowledge of professions of foreign origin. Now, you may have heard the term Anglicism, which Anglicism means it's a word that is borrowed from the English language into another language. In this instance, we will be using Anglicisms that are denoting professions. Nowadays, a lot of modern professions are borrowed from the English language, such as a merchandiser, a manager, and a trader, and a web designer, and so on and so on. For example, for one of those, a moderator or a merchandiser is an employee of merchandise for in any kind of supermarket, and they stock up the shelves and they check if that company's brand products are full or not. There are a lot of occupations in the English language are often confused about by students, such as a driver or a chauffeur, translator or interpreter, teacher or tutor, painter or artist, actor or artist, and so on and so on. For example, to show one of those, here's the difference between a teacher and a tutor. A tutor usually teaches one-on-one or small groups. They don't need a qualification to tutor. Their salary is anywhere from $15 to $80 an hour. They have a flexible lesson plan, and they have a flexible time allocation. Whereas a teacher, they teach big classes. They need a qualification in teaching. Their salary is anywhere from $45,000 to $80,000 an hour, yearly. And they have to follow the school hours that you will have at school. I conducted a survey among our students on their knowledge of the meanings of professions in the 94 students took part in the survey, of which 94 of them were students were asked the following questions. In the first question, they were given modern professions such as recruiter, brand manager, merchandiser, and so on. And they were asked, do you know the meaning of these professions? To which 72% of students answered yes, students answered no, as you can see in this diagram. The next question was, how often do you use Anglicisms in your speech? To which 85% of students answered yes, while 15% of students answered no. As the third question was, how do you feel about Anglicisms? To that, 76% of students answered normal, while 24% of students answered negative. The fourth question was, how often do you hear Anglicisms in everyday life? 79% of students answered often, while 21% of students answered not often. As the fifth and final question was, will knowledge of the English language and Anglicisms be useful to you in your future career? 70% of students answered no, while 30% of students answered yes. One of the objectives of our study was to determine the level of demand for English-speaking occupations in our city. You can see there are these enterprises, and the highest ones here are the ones that have the highest demand in our city. Most corporations are international, and therefore the names of professions comply with international standards. Based on these results, we can conclude that in our region, professions of English origin are popular. My conclusion is that English has rightfully held the title of the language of international businesses and multinational corporations. And in my work, I analyze the names of some professions of English origin. During my research, I discovered that some names, completely change their meanings development. Therefore, the meanings of many current professions do not always correspond to what is presented in the dictionaries. The names of professions of English origin are subject to intensive lexical development in the Kazakh and Russian languages, which is manifest formation of the exact lexical meaning of Anglicism, but also in the expansion of its semantic scope. This work can serve as reference when when choosing a profession.
Now presenting so far and Сельской Жанерке, Мукаш Арнот, Мусахмет Динара, Алмабек Айзелек.
Hello, dear judges, teachers. My name is Mandela Box Gymnasium. Today I'm going to present my work. Features of translation, movie titles from English into Russian. Now this cinema is the most important and popular part of every modern person's daily life. Films write us, similar chats, and give us more different emotions and make us learn and think about the world. The problem of translations is one of the most present issues in the global film industry. For people today are so interested in the cinema, and this topic film is relevant to me. About the purpose of the work was to find determines the validity of methods for translating English film. Critics were said first study the original titles of English language films, classify the translations of the film titles and the terms of their components with the content, compare the original and the adapted titles, translate the original title by him himself and compare it with the original translation to identify the difficulties a translator may encounter when translating a film title, and popular translation type among translation audience. About the following methods were used: analyze and the processing of scientific material, comparative analysis of original text and the translations methods. About hypotheses were used. Therefore, the study is devoted to the translations of the film titles, especially their prepared translation and its structural merits. Today, the media language is English, half of the population language, but it's the most important and popular spoken language. Spoken language in the world. In addition, the film title should be about clean in what it summarizes and easy to remember in its form. The title should be attraction because the content of the film is it plays a big role in the cinema. So, okay, what's the translation strategy? As noted earlier, there are some translation. The strategy is the model of the actions necessary to achieve the goal. I will focus on three strategies. The first is the direct translation of the film title. The second strategy is the transformation of the movie title. The third strategy is the translation can use change of the film title. And literal translation is the easiest way to translate a film title. It's the site. Its future lies in the fact that the word or the original is present during translation. Tracing is the borrowing of a foreign word and the expression by directly translating the corresponding linguistic unit. There are several types of such translations, including transcription and transliteration. It turned out that the most common method of translation is literal translation. An example is the American TV series. Certain reasons why, which was translated literal, 13 причин почему, примеры, or Green Mile, зеленая миля и так далее. It's used by translators with which to translate the name. The name sounds much better in the original. Exactly how the movie Divergent и так далее. For examples, we selected 10 films and tried to give our, for example, original film title. It's The Huntsman Winter War. Literal translation Белоснежка и охотник. Literal translation Охотник, Зимняя война. И reception 5 прием. К примеру, еще один из хорроров. One is horror, Tomorrow When the Began. Вторжение, битва за рай. И завтра, когда началась война. And the most popular film, Captain America, The First Avenger, Первый Мститель, Капитан Америка, Первый Мститель. As a result of this study, we conclude that it's the literal translation that gives more information to the viewer, reveals and generates the plot of the film, attracting a category of viewers. That's all.
Do you think it is important to translate the movie subtitles from English into Russian? If you know the language, why should you translate everything? What is the importance of translating?
Important because translate the films from English into Russian is very important and popular thing.
For example, Irina Karatina's group, yes, the band. The song China is sang all over the world, and even in Europe. I don't think that they will translate the words from Kazakh maybe into English. They just like the rhythm and they just listen. And also the same is a movie. I think there is no importance to translate movie titles from English into Russian. This is my opinion. So I don't know you, how you understand it. Okay, colleagues, questions?
No, you are talking about the translation, yes? Have you ever translated some kinds of books or something else? Have you ever taken after translation work? Have you done your practical work on this sphere? Do you have any practical work in this sphere? Have you ever taken some translation work?
I don't understand, but I don't
Бірақ
remember about
аударма
expressions.
сіздерге аударма ісі бойынша бір жұмыс жасадым ба нақты? Practical work. Бар ма?
Yeah. Нақты бір тыйым бар. Оны жоқ сізге.
You don't have any experience of translation and you are talking about the translation. Yes? The scientific work in translation. And is it your own project? How long have you been working on this project?
When did you start researching this one? When did you start?
In July.
In July.
Yes. With my teacher.
Okay, thank you.
Next.
Good afternoon, dear teachers. I am Silva Jemirke. I study at a secondary school in Kukuzuk village. I am grade in 9A. The same of my job, classical method in learning English language. Introduction. One of the famous healers, Avicenna said, a doctor must use three weapons in the fight against disease: the word, the medicine, the knife. You see, she puts the words first, according to the effects of people. But those who have achieved more effective results are extroverts, good-natured people who quickly become addicted, emotional and overly trusting. And after I found out, I thought, what if I use this effect in learning English? After all, now the English language is very important for us and it is connected with our future. The possible effects can be used in schools so that students will learn English faster and it will be easier for them. My main task in this research is to show that the placebo effects can be used not only in medicine but also in learning foreign language and that its effects works better than regular language learning. What is a placebo effect? Placebo drugs do not contain active substance, but the person thinks that they are taking medications. The placebo can improve their physical condition. Placebo describes any psychological or physical effects that the person has. Placebo has become an integral part of all high-quality clinical trials. Basic facts about placebo. The placebo effect has been measured in thousands of medical experiments, and many doctors admit to prescribe it, and the larger tablets cause a stronger effect. Some believe that the self-healing inherent in the placebo explained by evolutionary biology. How does it work? Four factors that are thought to be involved in the placebo effect. First, the expectation and preparation. The placebo effect is partly due to the expectations of the person taking it. These expectations may relate to a treatment, substance, or doctor's prescription. Second, and brain imaging studies have found measurable changes in nervous system activity in people with placebo analgesia. Part of the brain stem, spinal cord, nucleus accumbens, and the amygdala were involved in the development of this analgesia. Third, psychoneuroimmunology. Psychoneuroimmunology is a relatively new area of research. It studies the direct effects of brain activity on the immune system. The expectation of better health can affect the
influence of a person's immune system. The ways the brain affects the immune system are complex. The explanation began to form on recently. This type of interaction probably plays a role in the effects. For evolution of regulating mechanisms, one explanation for the placebo effect is the development of the human brain's ability to imitate healing. In the course of evolution, the mammalian body has developed useful solutions to pathogens. Examples of placebo effects.
Make a conclusion.
Experiments. I did my own experiment studying the placebo method. The main purpose of this research paper is to study the placebo method. In study English language learning. To do this, I started teaching my sister English. Classes were conducted through the new Headway Beginner students book and workbook. In total, 40 lessons were completed, and 1 hour was of them. In the first week, I used the placebo method. During the lesson, I expressed my gratitude to Mireille and noticed that she is making significant. He desired to learn English, was roused, and she was in a hurry to attend classes. She quickly mastered the completed topics and her vocabulary and increased. For example, in the first lesson, as it is written in the plan, I told Mireille, you are learning English very quickly, well done. Mirei's desire to learn English has increased. At the end of the lesson, he learned 10 new words. The next week, I didn't use the placebo method. During the lesson, Mary, on the contrary, showed a lack of motivation to the lessons.
If you were the author of this placebo method, how would you call this? This method? Yes, the scientific name of this method is placebo, yes? And how would you call this if you were an author? Okay, how do you understand this method? Because for me, it's something new. I don't know how to call this.
For me,
Can you say that placebo method is similar to fake motivation?
yes.
Placebo,
Does your English teacher use this method?
Yes.
How do you use? It's interesting. How do you use this method?
How do you use?
You said that you taught your younger sister English, yes?
Yes.
So how did you teach her?
2 weeks.
How? How do you teach? How do you teach? Not how long. How?
Using this method.
I told you are quickly.
Okay, thank you.
It's like fake it until you make it.
Okay.
Then Dinara, after that, probably I said it will be the last.
Hello, dear audience. My name is Mukasha Nur, and I'm a student of 9th grade at school former secondary gymnasium school, and my team from and the team from my research is how do using acronyms in text messaging impact teenagers' communication. So let's start. Let's start from introduction. In today's advanced time, most of the communication is going through the internet in online platforms. So that's why the language is going to modify. So because of it, language is going to modify. And what is acronyms? Acronyms is a part of speech that perform a function to shorten long and complex phrases or terms. So by this study, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you how it's going to help teenagers to communicate in online platforms. And there are some research questions. First one, how do using acronym in text messaging impact teenagers' communication? To know the use of acronyms when learning a language, study and use acronyms in English language. So let's start from literature review. Lenhart noted that teenagers' text messaging pattern often prioritize brevity due to real time and the going nature of their communication, and clarity versus misunderstanding. Lingard and Medical counted that most of the teachers can use, but they cannot understand them. So that's why because of it, there are going to be some misunderstandings. And we have made some questions for our students to know how it's going to impact them. So let's start. And we have had 50 participants, and all of them have had different genders and different ages, but all of them and different nationalities, but all of them was the school students. And as a result, for the first question, have you ever heard about acronyms? 60% of them said yes, which means that they have heard about them, and 33.3% said no. And the second question, have you ever used or seen the structures in writing? Most of them said yes, 60% and 33.3% said no. And third question, have you ever used them in the text messaging? 46.7% said yes, and 40% said no, and 13.3% said no, but they would like to. And this is the result. Here's the answers for open-ended questions. First question, in your opinion, why do we use acronym in text messaging? To save our time, and it's comfort to them to use them. And second question, can using acronyms affect communication in text messaging? If most of them said that there are a lot of advantages for learners who are just starting to learn English, and they said that this is the answer for the last and do we need to learn about them in English lessons and why? And the answer was to be proficient and language which can be used in everyday basis. So here are all of the answers. And as a conclusion, I have shown you the positive sides of it: efficiency, inclusion, and creativity. And the negative side was reduced clarity, decline in language proficiency, and exclusion. So, and as a conclusion, a lot of students have known about these acronyms, and they was used to learn about them in the future, and also we should learn them in English subjects. So, thank you for your attention.
Yes. What acronyms have you learned?
A lot of them, but one of them was SAP, as soon as possible. IDQ, I don't know, and so on.
Do you think is important for you? And how it can be important for teenagers?
For everybody, acronyms is one of the important part of the speech, because acronyms also used in academic languages. So that's why every acronym is individual and it's important by his way.
Do you often use next messaging?
Yes, because it can save my time and it's going to be more creative to use them.
But if people understand are they asking you what are you writing?
Mostly people understand it, and nowadays a lot of people understand them, so that's why nobody's going to ask me about it. Yes.
Dinara?
Hello everyone, my name is Dinara and I'm a student of secondary school of Biomedical and no, I'm going to ways of developing speaking skills and learning English using reading resource comics. Um, content, introduction. Our first topic is the main part, the worlds of comics. Comics as motivation for reading books and the benefits of comics in English classes. And the second topic is practical part, sites for creating of comics books and interesting facts and questionnaire. Uh, I like to read books, but when I start a new book, I look at the pictures for the reading story. That's why I like comics. I like comics where the pictures tell the story, and that's hypothesis heroes. Comics are assistants in the educational process. The object of the study was a comic book, and purpose of the study to show the possibilities of comics for educational process. This is comics. First one, classic comics, and graphic novel, webcomic, manhwa, manga, and manhwa. Manga is Japanese black and white. They comics and read from right to left, and manhwa and color comics read from left to right. They are very interesting. Into the teenagers. Comics in English lessons can help increase interest in reading and more like to read, development of writing and reading skills by expanding vocabulary, improving critical thinking. Um, and and reading by the reading comics, we know how to use phrasal verbs. For example, sit down, for example, come on, call him. I know he will be very happy if you do. Phrasal verbs like this, more use it in comics. There is a site for creating of comics books. Using this program, you can create various stories on a wide variety of topics. I found a site, Make Believes Comics. Here you can create your own comics and you can choose characters, words, pictures, and I found the site Kazakh. Here, comics are only in Russian and in Kazakh. My dream is to translate these comics into English. For example, it's my first comics in Kazakh, and it's my draft. Here I started to translate these words into Russian, and I want to. I want to make popular our comics in English. And our comics in English and our comics in English to know of our life, our Kazakh life, our heroes, and our battles, and our traditions. This is a questionnaire. First question was, do you read books? And 78% people answered yes, and 17% people answered yes, but rarely. And 3% people answered no because they have no time. And the second question was, what's your favorite genre? The most of popular genre was adventure. I also read manhwa in English because it's manhwa from Korea, and these manhwas in English, into English. Conclusion, I can say that I have reached the aim of my research. My hypothesis has been proved because the results of our research show that comics play an important role in educational knowledge for reading and speaking.
Questions?
Do you think that this genre, like comics, gonna be popular in like, I don't know, 5 years?
Nowadays, is popular.
After 5 years, is it going to be popular?
Yes.
Comics. Okay, thank you. Next.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdul Kadir. I'm from second school, named by Professor. I'm in the ninth grade. My topic is English through lyrics training app and using effective vocabulary. First, I should say that I want to you can improve and learn English. And combine your creative culture. For example, I love drawing and listen to music. And the first is you can download this app. Um,
Don't be shy. Please look for your work. Please can read.
I have understand the basic a wonderful app to explain. Use very easy to use. Here you have you can choose your favorite song, and when you open this app, there we have
beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert. And then after all, you can you can see your game score, maybe seven. This is actually smart and easy to use. For instance, after you download, you can choose. For example, I choose the music. My favorite song is Blood Mary. Second method is flashcards. It's very easy to build. This flashcard can help you to remember the words that is different to you. For example, my goal is that I can remember the words, whereas the have two words than two syllables. For example, accompany. Accompany. The third method is Ryan. Mnemonics trick. The memorize and remember rhymes is often due in part to repetition and in part to limit. Limit words can be used in a mnemonic to help us learn to answer information. The first method is a segmented mnemonic. The back method is especially useful mnemonic for remembering secondary information. If first repeat that you memorize the following list, it helps you order the tasks. For example, 1 bar, 7 heaven, 2 true, 6 sticks, 9 wine, 10. Let's mention unit Lawrence called Sky's classification system, kingdom, here or division. You first think of a kingdom places in a mathematical bound. Then is a mathematical division of science inside the choose. Next, you picture a class of pressure on a tree bench and so on. This method allows your receiver board to retrieve a piece of information and the third order in which it's placed. Here you can see the bits, the effective reflexes. And if you follow these steps, try to be disciplined and your English will be in it.
What is mnemonics? You understand the word mnemonics?
In my opinion, mnemonics.
Yes, you wrote once. Thank you. Why did you write it? Thank you.
I think it's to have a noble knowledge, yes, ambitious understanding.
Comments, questions?
Thank you for your attention.
Did you see our Instagram account?
No. We don't have time. We have some. That's all? That's all? That's all? That's all?
Through until the end, through that, to inner, see, or side.
Like to show you the Instagram. So here we go.
As was the last page, as the last page in this board, and there were our practice. So we asked show because we tried smart.